Get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. On first down, Taylor. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. 54 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. The give to Taylor. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. This is Marlon Mack, 3rd-year running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. And they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Out of the gun, Watson. And he finds Stills, complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Watson now to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Black 15! Check 13! Check 13!
Working out of the gun, Rivers. He finds Taylor, complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you...
They've got his man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Check safety, check safety! Room! Joker! Sled high!
They'll try the left side. It's Taylor. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
He's coming in. Hey. 12.
Rivers now from the 50. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 19-yard line.
Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11 after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11. Watson with a give to Miller. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Back to throw, Watson steps away to his left. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Miller. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
No one attempted or made more field goals in Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. They'll roll him out right. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. And now a shot into coverage downfield is complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 42-yard line.
Set 180. Block 11. I got you. I got you. Deuce. Hey, easy. Check 99. Check 99. 49. Check 49. Check 49. Rush in. Out.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Ready, set. 55. Right there in the middle. 55. And watch that. And watch the ball. Shift.
And an alley to run. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
Brandon, you and I have called a lot of college football in our day, but on Sundays here in the NFL, doesn't it look a lot like what we used to see on Saturdays when we called those games?
Yeah, option plays just like we saw, and that was a long touchdown on the option. What you taught me, though, defensively, you get your eyes in the wrong place on a play like that, you're in trouble.
What's the term that's in vogue in the NFL? Eye violations. The offense wants you to put your eyes in the wrong spot so that they can appear in others.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Being chased out left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Another try after the first down sack. Watson going deep here for Stills. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Trying to get it that time to Stills. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Following the interception here, Rivers. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
On the ball.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Dancing to his left. He's got it to Hilton. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Taylor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They need to get this to the 24 on third down.
Hey, Delta.
To throw is Rivers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. He really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Buying time to his left. It's complete. It's Miller. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to over...
And now he's taken down, and Rivers in the end zone, down to the ground he goes. That results in a safety and 2 points. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender.
Ooh.
To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The final shot before the break. Watson eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Watson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded at the 20. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Black 15. Come on, G. Check. First down.
They'll run on first down. It's Taylor. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 45-yard line.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
All day, dog. Check.
Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
41 Mike, right here, 41 Mike.
On third down, Rivers. And that will be incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Miller. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's third down.
Set. UAT. Coming to you. And we're going 37 to the left.
Here's Watson, operating from the gun. And that is incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. On the return comes Cobb. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Forced out to his left. He's got the hook up to Miller. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Now Watson. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20, 10. And they will finally put an end to the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Stills the intended target. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? On 2nd and 10, Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells, and that'll make it third down.
Set. 19. 58. 31. Know your job. 58.
Again, it's Watson. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. He'll return it from the 6. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. The Colts on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. Taylor. And he's got his man Hilton. The 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 87 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Mike 37, ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
They'll run it again with Miller. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a first down throw complete downfield. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Watch the shift. 22-jet bomber. 22-jet bomber. Watch the safety creep. You go tight. You got tight.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. $51 yards on the punt there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. One last throw here for Watson. Steps away to his left. He'll run it.
That's where you belong.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Colts, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for